Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our space. Sadaf Heather is hosting the space with me. I'm hoping to get Mahira and Usman Mukhtar to join us. I'm just going to quickly drop Mahira a message again and hope that she'll be there. Meanwhile, Sadaf, please go ahead.
Hi, everybody. Islam, Namaste, Sat Sri Akal, all the other good words. Just wanted to say hello and thank Mavish for inviting these people. We were going to have a quiet little session of friends only. Lekin it's so good to have the input. And we hopefully are going to have producer Nina Kashif as well. I hope I said her name right, Nina Kashif. So I'm going to check on her in a minute, see if she's joined us. Um, yeah, because this show has been such a big deal for a lot of fans. हम लोग ना भी fans हो, it was of Mahira or Osman or Kubra, so we've been watching avidly because it's so addictive. Um, I think, and this is the thing, and we've had a lot of issues with it as well, but at the same time, we have been slavishly watching it. So, I know a lot of you will have questions. One of my biggest questions, and I want to ask, is why did they choose to make this? It could have been something else. It could have been something a little bit more uplifting. And yet, even though we complain so much about it, कि हमें असवद नहीं पसंद ये क्या ट्रीटमेंट है ये क्यों हो रहा है we were watching and the performances obviously were amazing and this is the big strength of I think most of our Pakistani dramas performances इतनी ज़बरदस्त होती हैं कि we can't let go of the story every week I was at some point during the week this was like I have to see what's going on अब महरीन का क्या बनेगा मशर का क्या बनेगा I think when we have our stars on, and hopefully I must check to see if Nina is there or not. I think there's a big question we need to ask: is how do they decide which story is suitable? Because we do get a diversity of stories. ये नहीं है कि भाई एक type की story है, but unfortunately जो हम लोग चाहते हैं stories which are more diverse, perhaps show stronger women, show more authentic things, वो ज़रा कम बनती हैं और ज़्यादातर बनती हैं जो रोती धोती औरतें हैं and मजबूर औरतें and that is what is irritating a lot of people. But on the flip side, and I think Mavish, when she gets a time to speak, she's got training in psychology. I believe she is a psychologist, and maybe we can hear from her because I think, and this is one of the things we have to ask Myra. I think if we get a chance to, a character, we expect a lot from a character. हम चाहते हैं हमारी सारी औरतें जो हैं मजबूत दिखें, हमारी औरतें ऐसे दिखें कि वो हैंडल कर सकती हैं हर मुश्किल को, हर चीज़ को आसानी कर सकती हैं. But of course they can't. If you have suffered a lifetime of abuse, as Mehreen did, I mean, perhaps that is the only way. Okay, the one person you were relying on then starts picking on you, abusing you, and you, so maybe that you can't be mazboot, we can't be that strong. So there's a lot of questions there, a lot of people want to ask, but obviously it's a tribute to the drama that we're all so interested in it और हम सब सवाल जवाब करना चाहते हैं. So hopefully we'll get those people on air and we'll see what happens. But go ahead, Mavish.
Yeah, hi. Sorry.
हाँ?
You were saying, Sadaf, please complete, कीजिए.
नहीं बस वो यही है. I'm hoping people will understand another thing too. It's very important that the plot twists are writer Umaira Ahmed's responsibility, not necessarily Myra Khan's, not necessarily even the producers, not necessarily even say Kubra or Usman. They play roles, they have some input, lekin the ultimate responsibility of the way this drama has gone and the way it's played out is the writers. That is their prerogative. When a writer writes a plot, you can't just continually say, Acha, ye badal do, ye kar do. It is up to them. Go ahead, Mavish.
Yeah, so I think that Nina is here. I've just messaged Mahira. I think she hopefully will. She's told me she's gonna try and join. Hassan Kazmi and Kaukab are here, so I'm gonna obviously. Sorry, pardon me, my throat is acting up. for obvious reasons. Sorry, one second. Um, like you said, Sadaf, oh, Mahira is here. Hi, Mahira. Amazing, Mahira is here. So I'm going to, without wasting a lot of people's time, I'm going to invite Mahira and Nina to speak about it. I would want them to set the tone for what they want to say. I'm just gonna, yeah. Mahira, अस्सलाम वालेकुम. माहिरा अपने आप को अनम्यूट कर
Hi,
दीजिए.
this is
अस्सलाम
so
वालेकुम.
cool. Walaikum assalam.
I know, right?
What is this?
Hello.
It's yeah, it's really cool. Whatever this is.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
How is Mehreen Mansoor doing?
She is exhausted. She's
So,
good,
Maya,
yeah.
tell us about everything about Mehreen Mansoor. We'll bring questions, but I want you to kind of just. Nina is also here,
Oh,
so please go ahead. The
oh
floor is
God, Nina's
all
here.
yours.
She's gonna kill me. I was meant to send her a video thanking everybody for loving Hum Kahan Ke Sachay The. Is she gonna say something to me? I feel like I'm
Yes,
gonna get a
she's a.
big thappad from the side.
No, no. I'm sure this is a lovely moment for everyone to kind of also appreciate all of the stuff and obviously all the questions that you have. Nina, you're on speaker. If you would like to say something, please go ahead. And
Yeah, hi all. Hi
hi.
everyone.
Hi,
Yeah.
Nina. Hi,
Hi,
Mahira.
Sada. Hi, and so good to see. I mean, this is my first time. It's very interesting. I mean, thank you, Sadaf and Mavish and whoever whose idea was this. It's quite nice.
Yeah, just 1 second. I just want to request everyone, guys, we are not taking a lot of questions for now. Please allow the speakers to finish what they're saying. We do have a select number of questions and we don't want to take too much of these guys time, so please don't request mics so much because you're going to crash the space. Yeah, Nina and Mahira, the floor is all yours. We'll give you our questions once you're done. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so I think I actually heard Sadaf's first question, which she had asked you, why did we choose? Why was this subject choose? Right? It was something she asked
Yes, yes. Because
earlier.
you can make a lot of different dramas. लेकिन आपने ये वाला चुना, right?
Yes,
And
Vina. Bilkul.
so as a producer, you have the power to decide which projects go on air and which not. So please go ahead.
Yeah, the reason actually ये मैंने कुछ अरसे पहले आई थिंक मोर देन आई थिंक 1.5 year ये मैंने एक इत्तेफाक से किताब उठाई थी लिबर्टी में गई थी कुछ लेने and I was just looking and I picked it up and I said okay I'm going to read it and once I read it I called up Umaira and I said Umaira आपकी तो इतनी किताबों के बने हुए सीरियल्स इसका क्यों नहीं बना तो शी इज लाइक कि नहीं ये क्योंकि मैंने 20 years पहले की लिखी हुई है और इसमें चेंजेस होंगे और ये होगा और वो जमाना बदल गया दिस वट एवर बट आई सेड कि नहीं बट यू डोंट आई सेड बट इसमें तो आपको आपने एड्रेस चाइल्डहुड ट्रॉमा किया हुआ है और चाइल्डहुड ट्रॉमा की तो कोई बात कर ही नहीं रहा यहाँ पे which is such I mean whatever we are today is connected to our childhood so whatever good bad anything so that's something that attracted me on a personal level and I wanted to speak about I wanted to do something on that and उसके अलावा भी इसमें बाकी चीजें भी address हुई नहीं है mental illness gaslighting so many other things relationships so this was something that I picked up and I understand because if you've seen my earlier projects they've been a bit different than what I did this time but of course I wanted to do something like this and that's the reason I chose this and I picked this up and of course, it was a task and a half to convince Umaira to then write it for me because जब ये शुरू में बहुत producers ने उनसे कहा था कि ये दे दें उनको उन्होंने नहीं दिया था तो यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा काफी मुझे उनको convince करना पड़ा था and then luckily she agreed.
Yeah, but I'm thinking, what made you think? I understand that there was childhood trauma, and I think that's the best part. मुझे लगता है वो सबसे बेहतरीन part है कि आपने मशल और माहिरा का दिखाया है, and I mean I really appreciated the way you show the way this drama showed the dysfunction
I think
that
it's
is.
great that Sadaf has confused Mehreen with Mahira. Mashal or Mahira ko dikhaya hai. Did you note that,
Perfect.
guys? I think it's wonderful, and
That
I think I've been
happens a
saying this
lot.
for a while, Mahira, that it shuts up a lot of your critics. This show shuts
Huh.
up a lot of your critics.
No, thank you. Thank you.
But I just, yeah, Mahira,
what
we
was
could just,
Sadaf's question?
yeah, Sadaf's question. Sadaf, you could repeat, and I also wanted to
Yes,
add
sure.
something to this.
Go ahead.
Mahira has been, it's been, she's been at the receiving end of a lot of criticism for, oh, it's a comeback, and why did she choose such a toxic drama? I completely agree with Nina, because I mean, I feel like the end and the way that it was written, it was a kind of show that, like you said rightly, pointed out childhood trauma. But I feel like the kind of justifications that actors sometimes have to do for the work that writers have done, I think that's kind of not fair. So everyone who's listening, just please back off. And Myra, could you also shed light on what did you have to delve upon? I know you're not the same person as Mehreen. I'm sure everyone knows that. But what part of your life or what part of your experience did you have to dig into to find Mehreen Mansoor? And then obviously Sadaf's question was about why do you choose to do the play?
So, so regarding your question and regarding what you said before that, no one has to back off. They can bring it on. I think that's a byproduct of Mehreen and what she's done. Like, just bring it on. I'm ready to take it. But yes, just like Mehreen has had a childhood full of trauma, and by the way, this is something that, I mean, we've all dealt with trauma. We've all had, ups and downs in our childhood. But there are people out there who've had very unfortunate childhoods, and just like everybody else, they sort of make do with whatever God has dealt or whatever hand they've been dealt with. This was very interesting because I remember being compared to my cousins, but I also remember this happening with friends a lot, two girls pitted against each other, but you also love that friend of yours. Or I've seen it with my own eyes. I've heard, parents, grandparents compare children. I've really seen that. And then I've also, as I grew older, I used to think, what's the real big issue between these families? Like, what's the real problem? And honestly, when I used to really think about it, even when I was younger, by the way, I used to be like, but there is no big issue. No one's killed anybody. It's just a matter of ego, and it's something that we grew up with. It's almost like part of growing up in this society, and I found that very interesting. For me, the big selling point was this scene between Mashal and Mehreen, which basically comes in the middle of, obviously, the story, but you see it in the end of the story. I was blown away by that scene. I was like, man, I've never seen two girls sitting opposite each other and talking about their insecurities. Oh, but you were the good-looking one. Oh, but you were the studious one. I know it sounds so small, but it's not. It's not when you're growing up. It's not when you're compared. It's not even when you're in your careers being compared, right? Oh, but she's the pretty one. Oh, but she's a better actor. Oh, but she's just stop. We're just there's a line in it which Mehreen says to her nani कि हमें तो अल्लाह ने मुकम्मल पैदा किया था. So we are all within us. We're complete. So that really struck me. So that's really why I eventually said yes to doing it. I also really liked Mehreen in the beginning. I loved it. I liked her attitude. I liked that was her defense mechanism, the way she dealt with her nani and her momani and mashal and the mamu, everybody. Her defense mechanism was almost bordering on badtamizi, but also like, just stay away. I also really liked the fact that she used to keep saying, ye mere nana ka ghar hai, I found that, like, she's telling herself psychologically that it's okay, you're living in this room, but it's yours, okay? Even if it's 1/10, but it's yours. So I really liked a lot of things about this story, and that's why I did it. What was the second question Sadaf had asked?
I think you've answered the question, right?
I have. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, uh, I think what my question was going to be, okay, why wasn't Mashal and Mehreen's relationship the main focus? I can understand. By the way, Mahira, you were outstanding. Okay, I don't care what
Oh,
anyone else says. Okay, you
thank
had me,
you.
my husband. We were both crying throughout the finale. So,
Oh,
okay, so when you get two
No, but
people
I
crying,
also want to add
same.
here
thank
that
you, Sadaf.
So
Mahira's
I wanted to
performance.
just a moment, Mavish. I just want to ask this. I want
Yes.
to ask why Mehreen and Mashal. I would have liked them to be the focus because a lot of our dramas do not accept the idea that women can be they can be sisterhood. They're constantly competing for rishtas, and Aswad was the bone, the glittering prize. So
Right.
that broke them.
I do agree with you there. I do agree with you there. I think that again, I again the in every story we there are things that we'd like and we wouldn't like as individuals, as our opinions are concerned, right? Um, it's I always felt that the bone of contention should not have been Aswad, and we tried. I think we in the last two episodes and the way they were written, that kind of was there. But yes, I do agree. I mean, I agree that uh, I wish there was more of Mashal and Mehreen. I wish that Mashal had survived. You know, it would have. But then again, would there have been a story if Mashal had survived? You know, um, I think maybe what upsets people is that why did Aswad get an easy out? If maybe I'm wrong, I don't know if that's the problem, that why does Aswad get to just be forgiven? Um, I don't think Aswad will be forgiven easily by Mehreen. Not if I have anything to do with it. But yes, they move on. They do move on through it because they've seen enough damage done. You know, initially we show that he's not a bad guy. He's not a mean guy. He is. In fact, okay, let me put it this way. I wish we had seen Aswad's trauma. How about that? Because you see, Mehreen and Mashal both, you start understanding. You start saying, कि, अच्छा हाँ यार, मशल भी हीरो ही बन गई और मेरीन भी मतलब मेरीन का भी समझ में आता है बिकॉज ये बहुत अच्छी तरह ये लेड आउट था ना कि मेरीन के का एक बाप था अच्छी जिंदगी थी he got into drugs, he committed suicide, they lost all their money, the mother went back, mother got married, she was a young beautiful woman, the nanny said get married, and here she was for god knows how many years, a lonely little girl stuck with the Mamu Mamani, who probably didn't have a lot of money, and उनको खलता था कि यार हमें देने पड़ रहे हैं पैसे, हमें देने पड़ रहा है ये, whatever it may be. And then there was Mashal who had her own traumas, but we never understood why Aswad was acting the way he did. And I think if you're asking me, that is something I would have liked to have seen. Surely we want to see more women in our on our screens. I've always been saying that I would love to see that, and this was also about two women. But what I also find unfortunately disturbing is that we don't see men's traumas. Like we don't know why he's acting the way he is, right? So I
So
wish
I
we
would
had
actually
seen.
like to, sorry, I would, yeah, you finish and then I would like to say something
No,
on that.
that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I think I also feel that because we're so used to of seeing these most of the times हमारे protagonists होते हैं या even antagonists whatever they have like they're kind of perfect that way. We don't expect them to be flawed. Aswat's as a character he was a flawed one. Not as written, but as a character, he was slightly gray. He was a little bit of a weak person also,
You're
right?
giving me a
He's a
time to go to
normal
sleep.
person. जो normal
School
लोग हैं
tomorrow.
जो नॉर्मल आई थिंक जब होते हैं हम नॉर्मल लोग जो कान के कच्चे भी होते हैं वीक भी होते हैं और वो वल्नरेबल भी होते हैं सो आई थिंक मुझे लगता है हमें आदत है आइडियल किस्म के परफेक्ट देखने की तो जब फ्लॉट कैरेक्टर्स आ गए जो कि नॉर्मल है स्लाइटली ग्रे हैं जिस तरह नॉर्मल लोग होते हैं आई थिंक वो थोड़ा सा लोगों के लिए डाइजेस्ट करना मुश्किल हो जाता है बिकॉज वी नॉट यूज टू इट्स दैट so I personally think that yeah he was sort of flawed which his character was like that he was a little bit of a weak person. He was a bit of कान का कच्चा. Also, his character was like that. एक बच्चा शुरू से उसके बचपन में बाप की डेथ हो गई है, वो अकेला एक माँ का एक बेटा है, and then जो भी, so उसकी अपनी भी थोड़ी बहुत insecurities थी.
Sorry, on
So you
this
see, it
note,
was like that. But yeah, but
sorry on
sorry.
sorry Nina, but I just have to say something. On this note, one of the memes I read, possibly one of the funniest ones, was "Hum kaan ke kache the," because Aswad dude,
And
that's
he's
like
here.
next level kaan
He
ka.
is here.
Oh,
Aswad is here.
I would love to speak to him.
Hello, Aswad. Why have you been making everyone miserable? Aswad is here, and I'm waiting for him to unmute his mic.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
this is the
because you're
first time I'm
school.
using this. I had no
Arey
idea.
wah! You're all like space virgins here. Welcome.
What's up, guys?
Ooh, what fun.
Aswad, why have you been making everyone miserable? This is not fair,
Man, the amount of times I've heard this in the past
huh?
4 5 months, it's just
But I have to say that he's such a lovely person, Mahira. What was it like to be on that plane, because he's such a lovely, lovely human being.
He's lovely. He really is lovely, and I mean, we both were just kind of out of character. I feel, right, Usman?
yeah.
Like it was just like, what are we doing? And we'd laugh about it. And I think Usman was very concerned also, as we're like, he's like, I wouldn't do this, I wouldn't do this. So I think Usman would be the right person to really answer all of Usman's questions.
Uh, yes. What's the question? I
Okay, so we're
Why did you make
basically,
us miserable?
yeah. Why
That's
did
the
you make
question.
us miserable? No, no, that's just we're just being facetious. But Osman, the character itself was very flawed, and Nina was pointing out before that this was a flawed character to begin with. Is Nina still here? Uh, I can't see her. Okay, I'm hoping that she'll come back soon. I think she keeps getting connectivity issues. And one of the things that Sadaf was asking earlier was, why did you choose to make such a TV show, and all of those things, and why this? Because we want to see our women succeed. And she also made a point that. Um, but then there are characters which are not successful, which are not great at everything they do. So Aswad was definitely not a hero. Would you agree? Would you disagree? What's your take on Aswad? And obviously what the show has been to you, and
no,
thank you for joining us, obviously.
no. I absolutely agree. I mean, it's Aswad's not a hero. Absolutely not. I feel like see, nobody in this drama is perfect. Like there's no white or there's no black. A lot of these characters are gray. I mean, this. I mean, it shows you how humans are. Humans are imperfect. They're not perfect. Aswad is a little more imperfect than the other characters in the drama. Um, I feel initially when he started talking to Mashal, I feel at that point he had lost touch with Marine, and I mean, he didn't bother. I mean, asking, talking to Marine, he believed whatever Mashal said. And the audience was more worked up because I feel like the audience was being shown both sides of the stories. They were seeing both sides of the stories. And Aswad was just, looking at this situation from one
And I
aspect.
think the novel is also like that. The novel is mostly from Aswad's point of view most of the time.
Yeah, yeah. So I feel like Aswad is. I mean, he was put in a situation. I mean, he was never put in a situation like this before in his life. I feel like he didn't know how to act. This wasn't something that he had already done or already like dealt with a problem like this. So he was put in a situation where and he comes from a place where he's privileged, and he thought this was the right way of handling things and taking things in his own hands because the law is not going to punish Marine, so I will you know
See, this is where, hi, Usman. Let me
Hi,
just say,
Sadaf.
you were fantastic. I don't care. I hate Aswad, but you
Yes.
were okay. And my
Full
husband
candid,
was
full candid
in
है भाई ये space.
I
yeah.
like that. I like it though.
No, my husband was in my ear. तुम इसके खिलाफ नहीं हो सकती. He looks like your, you know, my elder brother. इसके खिलाफ नहीं हो. Which you do. You look a lot like my brother-in-law. But anyway, I was going to say, but this is the thing. Is it normal, even for a flawed character, to want to punish someone? Right? अब 2 दिन नाराज होते हैं, 3 दिन होते हैं. But what Aswad was doing was shockingly strange. So
No, no,
Aswad,
absolutely, absolutely. It's not normal at all.
because I can understand किसी का गुस्सा हफ्ता तक, even 10 days, but he was literally destroying Marine. And I think that I think we should maybe, he destroyed the other girl as well, Mashal, who was
Mm.
brilliant as well. Kubra was totally brilliant, but I feel that he destroyed both of them, but he didn't know he was doing that. He didn't know that he had that power over them. I think
Yeah.
this is something that you
But like
guys
that, what a great point that is. I don't know if Mahira or Usman would like to. I know we have other questions also. Ikra Nasir is there and Kokab Jahan is there, so we're gonna move to her once you guys sort of address this. I think that's such a fantastic point you've made, Sadaf, that he didn't realize it, and something just popped into my head, and you can let me know if this is something that you guys agree with. That is it not because when something really really terrible happens to us in our lives that we actually look at how horrible we've been to other people? Is that what something
Um,
that may have happened?
well, I think that there's a scene between Osman and so Asfad and the psychologist, right, or the psychiatrist, and she is asking him all these questions, and he is literally correct me if I'm wrong, Osman, but it's almost like a shock and a disbelief that I'm not an abuser. I'm not. No, that's not me. I am a man I consider myself an educated liberal man, and no, I'm not. That's what his face was conveying, at least to me, that I, of course not. I have not done any of these things. Why would I? And she goes on to say that, okay, but there is more to abuse than just picking up your hand on somebody.
Yeah.
There is more to abuse. And again, that scene sort of is the turning point of Aswad as well, where he's like, oh, could I be the reason of this girl crashing down so
Yeah,
badly?
yeah, that moment. Yeah,
So that moment where by the way, I mean, it takes a lot of, it isn't just a therapy session, it is several therapy sessions, which, where you go back into your past and you think about what you're doing right now to your significant other or several other people or whatever your relationships may be. But this, obviously, I think they'd only written this one scene. But yeah, I think you're right, Sadaf. I don't think he knew what he was doing. And I wish personally, I wish we had also seen. Usman used to keep saying this. There should be more scenes of Marine and Aswad when they were prior to them losing in touch.
yeah, 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 for sure.
So he would keep saying that, but he can now answer this question. But yeah,
हाँ
I
तुम
don't
लोग
think he was
dates तो
aware
देते नहीं
of
थे
that.
मुझे. You guys never gave me the dates.
Oh
Full
That
shit!
candid
would have
Oh
space.
seemed
damn,
I'm
she's
stupid.
back.
Nina, the
उनकी
amount of
dates
Damn,
times I
मिलती
traveled
नहीं
from
Nina,
Islamabad to
I'm
Karachi
dying.
थी.
Oh my
by
god.
road.
Oh my god. Usman, you want to just bring out some screenshots here of
Yes,
Nina. We'll come back. Nina.
yes.
Wow.
No,
ये
no,
कल
no,
YouTube
no.
पे
Oh
होगी ये
my
रिकॉर्डिंग,
Come
एंड इट विल
on.
बी कि माहिरा खान ने असली बात बता दी.
बता दी.
उसके
क्या
साथ
सी
And
बात
I
बता.
बताई. वो
and
dates तो
I
हाँ.
and
अभी
I
बताती हूँ मैं लोगों को. तो
18 hours of drive every time I'd come to Karachi.
Why were
oh.
you driving?
देखो
I
उस्मान,
have
Oh,
मैंने तो
because
I
तुम्हें
have
फ्लाइट
really
ऑफर
bad
की
flight.
थी. आई ऑफर्ड यू
I think
फ्लाइट,
it was
बट अब वो
it
मैं
was one of
क्या
his
करूँ.
paranoid phases. I remember.
या
I
या
remember his paranoid phase. Yeah, 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 yeah. Anyway, I have Ambreen and Ikra and Kokab who've been waiting for a very long time. I'm so sorry,
yes, of
guys.
course.
Kokab has been waiting for a long. Kokab, please go ahead. We will get like one questions each because I don't want to take a lot of these guys' time. They're very busy. So let's take one questions and then we'll just sort of try and wrap it up. Yeah, Kokab, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mavish. My question is regarding the very general theme of the drama. But the Mahira, Nina, and even Usman, how do you think that the character of Mehreen and even Mashal uh, play in the empowerment of women? How the character of Mehreen, Myra, do you think that the portrayal of Mehreen, the Mehreen, what did she do in the drama, and in the end, how did you think that it's the message for the women who are going through these traumas and empower them? Thank you.
Nina, do you want to take that or should I take that?
Yeah, I think you should. I mean, I can take that first, and then you can just,
Okay.
you know. Okay, so what I feel is you spoke about empowerment, that what did they do for that? Okay, I don't understand why people associate empowerment with maybe being rebel or something. So if forgiving people and being kind is not a part of empowerment, I don't know what is. Number one. Number two, initially, if you see Mehreen's character and Mashal both, they were strong-headed women. First 12 episodes में they were strong. I think वही तो सारा problem था because दोनों strong-headed थी अपनी जगह. So जहां तक रही strength की बात है तो वो तो थी. Of course, trauma तो आप बड़े से बड़े empowered और strong औरत को नीचे कर देता है. And Mehreen went through trauma throughout. And the moment she got out of that, she got treated. The first thing she said, "What I want divorce from Aswad. Aswad से divorce चाहिए." So I think ये एक पूरी transition journey थी उस character की. जहां तक रही आखिर की बात की जिसपे जो है अभी भी आई थिंक अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल आर वेरी हैप्पी विद द एंडिंग बट वो थोड़ा बहुत जो कह रहे हैं कि नहीं अलग होना चाहिए था दैट्स देयर ओन ओपिनियन उसमें उसमें मुझे लगता है एम्पावरमेंट की का ताल्लुक नहीं है वो एक पर्सनल चॉइस होती है कि आप किसी कॉन्फ्लिक्ट को लेके आप फॉरगिवनेस पे जा रहे हो आपको हील क्या चीज कर रही है हर इंडिविजुअल को डिफरेंट चीजें हील करती हैं विद मेहरीन्स कैरेक्टर आई थिंक उसके लिए ये हीलिंग ये वाला पॉइंट हीलिंग के लिए उसके लिए ज्यादा उसको सूट करता था सो आई थिंक लुकिंग एट ऑल दीज थिंग्स दिस इज माय पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू एंड मायरा यू कैन से व्हाट यू फील इज द राइट थिंग
Oh. Usman, did you hear that? You can say what is the right thing.
No, please, you go ahead.
yes
No,
you
no,
can
but
say
that was like the
your
operator
opinion
word.
this
The
is what I
operator
felt
word
as a
is the
producer
right
and I
thing.
said that
Just a second, guys. I'm gonna eat. Thank you.
Oh, Myra's about to eat.
Yeah. Ha 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 ha, Usman. Okay,
Myra,
anyway.
that's you. Hello.
Yeah,
जी
yeah.
चले मायरा, आप खा के आ जाएं, फिर आप
नहीं
हमसे
नहीं
बात
नहीं
करेंगे.
नहीं अल्लाह
नहीं
ठीक
मायरा खाते खाते भी बहुत सारे काम करती है मुझे पता है
हाँ.
थैंक
मैं
यू
विटनेस हूँ
मैडम
यस
नहीं,
मैं
एक्चुअली
थैंक यू
मायरा,
आपका
I was just,
व्यू
हाँ,
समझना
मायरा इज
चाहती
अ
हूँ
actually,
मल्टीटास्कर
कॉकअप
हाँ,
के सवाल का कि आपका क्या ये है आंसर इस पे
जी
मैंने
जी
तो दे दिया अपना अब आप
okay
बताइए
हाँ.
so this is the thing again it would be amazing if every role that I ever do and everything I ever produce is always talking about women empowerment. In fact, I would love to do that every single time. In this particular drama, and again, I don't watch dramas, and every time I would tell Nina, like, why can't we do this? She's like, please just watch dramas, okay? Just watch other dramas. And then I started watching here and there, except for a few. I think what we did right is that we were not glorifying a man who is abusive, no matter what kind of abuse it is. Neither were we glorifying a bichari larki. We were not. From the first frame to the end, I can speak for Mehreen and Mashal both. With Mehreen, she is strong-willed, strong-minded, says it like it is. Even her rejecting and going back to Safwan and then coming back, it's all literally throughout till she breaks down. It's all on her terms most of the time. In the end, जैसे कि आपने कहा कोकब कि in the end क्या आप empowerment का message देते हैं? In the end, the fact that these two girls had sat and spoken to each other, in the end, the fact that she did not need to go back to that house. सिर्फ एक बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग औरत जो है ना वो कहती है कि she even tells Aswad कि मुझे जाना है वापस and he says don't go back तुम्हें पता है तुम्हारे साथ क्या हुआ था last time you went just don't get into this anymore and she has decided कि नहीं मुझे जाना है because she is that sort of a woman, and it says a lot about her. I wish there are more women, men, children who, instead of being part of this, this dirty talk of उसके पास ज्यादा, मेरे पास कम, मेरे पास ज्यादा, उसके पास कम, इसका रिश्ता ये, खड़े होके कि why are you guys doing this? Because we are the new generation. Mehreen and Marshall were the new generation. And so moving forward, this family at least seems to have a nicer future. So yes, I think she is empowered because she just empowered the Nani and the Momani, two of the most toxic characters. When we talk about women empowerment, right? Sorry, I just want to say one thing. As a woman, I think, at least in my life and in my career, you may not see it. Maybe it's invisible, or maybe it's at the back end of things. But we empower people when we are in a position of power, and we actually transfer that to them, a little bit of it. I've seen that happen in my life. I've tried to do that in my own, and I feel that it was something very cool that Mehreen did. She went there and she said, okay, this is my learning, and here you go, Nani, and here you go, Mamani. Like, I think she empowered both these women in the end, and even the Mamu. But yeah, so that's my take on it. Yes, it wasn't Ek Hai Nigar, but then again, it's a different story. Same writers, different story. So yeah.
Yeah.
I think brilliant point there. Agar we rise above, and this is what I wish that our other dramas would do. But chalo, in the last episode, okay, if we rise above the games, if we rise above competitions, if we just rise above and take the moral high ground and say, I'm not going to be part of this, and this is what I think Mehreen's character does. So yeah, that I think
Right.
the best message. She said, "Mani is cheese ka hissa nahi anymore. That's it. I withdraw. You play your game, or wo ekdam game khatam. That's it."
Right.
Yeah, I
Right.
mean, for me, I'll just move on to Ikra, but just wanted to make a quick point that so much of the criticism is so superficial about. I'm sorry, I may be offending a lot of people, but that's what I do. Hum Kahan Ke Sachay The is just one of those very, yeah, it was frustrating at definitely, but it was frustrating in terms of writing. It wasn't frustrating in terms of the character. I never had issues with the character, even in the book, because they were all horrible, toxic people. Mehreen was she watched her father die, for freak's sake. I mean, come on. How can you expect a child to have a normal childhood, have a teenage? And this one line that she says to her mother, कि आप एक दफा मेरा हाथ पकड़ लेती हैं, अगर आप वो 5 साल मुझसे मिलना ना छोड़ती. I think that says so much about child psychology. That says so much about the damage that had been done. Like all those moments where you would see Mehreen like pursing her lips and not really speaking her mind. And you want to say, like, Mehreen, say it, just say it. Just give him a tight slap. Just tell her off. And she's not saying it. It's because of this, self-defeating, um,
Right.
sort of,
Also
yeah.
a great like defense mechanism,
Yes,
right?
yes,
It's like
yes.
I've seen that.
Yeah,
As children, when you're in a happy childhood, right?
yeah.
I think most of the time आप अपने माँ बाप को कुछ भी कह देते हैं,
Hmm.
अपनी नानी के पास ये आपने क्यों किया,
Huh.
but when you have nobody, your defense mechanism becomes fine.
Hmm.
That's why जब असवद उसको कहता रहता है कि तुमने ये क्या किसके साथ hang
Hmm.
out करना शुरू कर दिया है, and she just says, believe what you want to believe,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that is her thing. Like, okay,
That is her
ma'am,
defense.
just
Yes. Yeah.
yeah.
That's how she responds.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
But
When
Mahwash, I would like to say something that thank you so much, because whatever you said is so spot on right now. I mean, these are literally words out of my mouth when you say the little bit criticism that we get कि ये इतना superficial criticism है, इतना ज़्यादा.
इंतहाई. और आई एम सॉरी मैं आपकी बात
Absolutely,
काट रही हूँ. मैं आपसे ज्यादा आउटरीच
absolutely.
इसलिए हूँ क्योंकि मैं तंग आ चुकी हूँ इस तरह की इंस्टा और टम्बलर फेमिनिज्म से. हर
Oh,
किरदार एम्पावर्ड
oh,
नहीं होता. आपने हीथक्लिफ
absolutely.
पढ़े जाके, आप हीथक्लिफ इतना मेस्ड अप कैरेक्टर है, वो लिटरेचर का क्लासिक किरदार है यार. अब
बिल्कुल.
बचपन से आप चाहते हैं कि हर औरत बैट वुमन नहीं होती, हर बंदा सुपरमैन नहीं होता. Sorry.
Exactly. That's what I said earlier over here also कि भाई different characters हैं, ये normal लोग हैं, हर कोई ऐसा नहीं होता है, weak भी होते हैं लोग, vulnerable भी होते हैं, traumas होते हैं लोगों के. So I don't understand this कि ये I totally agree and thank you so much for saying it loud and clear, Mahwish. I really appreciate that because I mean this is very much needed and I'm glad this conversation is happening, by the way.
No, it needs to
I'm so
happen because
glad.
I feel like this cancel culture has empowered a lot of idiots. And I'm
Oh,
sorry again. No, it
oh,
has. And what's happened is that
absolutely.
our artists and our actors are the softest targets. Mahira has talked about it. I've talked about so many of our artists who have, and it's not just artists, it's dramas in general. Are Pakistani dramas. You know, I was watching that scene between Aswad and I. I'm gonna obviously. I'm sorry, Ikra. I'm just going to come to you, Usman. I do want you to, whenever you get to speak to about it, that
Yeah.
scene with you and Mahira, that silence, and Farooq Rind is a master of silences. So that
Yeah,
scene
he's
between, he's
brilliant.
just, oh my god, he's just breathtaking when it comes to that. You know, you can hear like the fridge whirring in the background, and it makes it so real because these are the silences we face at home when we are in those awkward, horrible moments. We don't hear soundtracks playing. नहीं बजता भाई, वो पीछे फ्रिज बज रहा होता है कहीं, यू नो, जिंजर वो बोल रहा होता है. So that silence between you and her when you're sitting with her, it's so potent. And I do want you to kind of look into that. Yeah, Ikra, you're, please go ahead. I'm so sorry for taking so much of your time. Go ahead, Ikra, please.
Thank you, Mavish. Thank you for giving me the mic. And it's okay. You people were having such a good conversation. I was actually enjoying it. I would just like to appreciate no questions, but I would like to appreciate Mahira and the entire team for such a powerful script. You know, I agree with you. Not every woman is so powerful. Now, we have to show some natural characters in our society, which
बिल्कुल.
are existing. I remember interviewing Mahira for National Amateur Short Film Festival, and I remember when I interviewed her, and I realized it later that how much she was interested in choosing good content, in giving people something very different from what we are watching. हम लोगों ने ना शुरू से एक अपने ड्रामाज में यही वाले कैरेक्टर्स देखे हैं कि एक खातून होती है, वो बड़ी पावरफुल होती है और बाद में वो उसके साथ ये हो जाता है. So you know, this was a different story, and this was such a powerful script. I do not know where that criticism is coming
Oh,
from.
please
Yeah,
just read
Even if
my
I'm
Instagram
people.
comments and you'll
Yeah,
find them.
but you know, Mahavesh, luckily after last episode, I mean, there लोगों के थोड़े perceptions change हुए. I've gotten a
Oh, that's
lot of
good.
appreciation. Like सुबह से,
Uh-huh.
of course, a lot of people, a lot of journalists, all they have called me, they have texted me, and they have loved it. So a lot of
Hmm.
जो मैंने 180 degree change देखा है, और जो मैं और मायरा throughout कहते रहे कि भाई आप पूरा देख ले, उसके बाद बात कीजिएगा.
नहीं, पूरा तो
तो
हमने
वो,
देखना नहीं होता. 15 सेकंड की क्लिप होती है,
You
ट्विटर पे
know,
चलती है और
उसके
बस.
बाद, हाँ.
I'd also like to say, you know, there's a lot of, even now, still a lot of people think that the ending should have been different and everything.
But
Oh
I
yeah,
majority
that's
is,
feel
always
by the
like,
way,
something,
the
everyone. I've
majority
been
is
getting
loving this.
messages.
Yeah, but
No,
majority
no,
is loving this
but
happy
I've been
ending, by
getting
Yeah,
the
but
way.
messages.
let
Yeah.
Usman say what he's
but
what he.
I also feel like this is something that I noticed in the last episode. That scene where Marine goes into her room and her certificates and trophies are there. Uh, I mean, you notice how Marine goes into her room and not Aswad's room, and it's set up for her.
Great
So
point. Yeah.
maybe this is something that I feel as Aswad, and I mean, I'm just, while watching it, I felt like maybe when Aswad apologized to her, Marine said, "Okay, I might forgive you, but let's take it slow. Let's
Yeah.
take it slow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's not move in
Bilkul.
together. Let's not start that relationship of husband and wife. Let's heal each other. Let's see where it goes, and then we'll decide."
That
So that's
exactly
why
was the
maybe
point.
Marine moved into her room and Aswad moved into his.
Bilkul. That was the point.
And you know how beautiful this thought is, even when Usman is even explaining it, okay, let's heal each other first and then let's move on. You know, the concept behind it is so amazing. So, hats off to your team and all of you, Nina, Usman, Mahira, everyone.
Thank you, Ikra.
Thank you.
Yeah, Sadaf, would you like to add something?
No, I certainly agree with all of this. I think थोड़ा सा ना to speak up for the people who are critiquing, क्योंकि हम लोग जो है ना, we get involved with the drama. I was so mad when Mehreen's
Yeah.
character,
Yeah.
she started that thing, confession. तो मेरा दिल था, I mean, honestly, my husband was holding me back because the TV costs a lot of money. So I was going to throw a shoe at it. But is, if you confess, if you get a person who has been psychologically harassed and constantly put down, and then of course, when you're in love, and she is in love with the jerk, right? I mean, that is
Of
very
course,
much, she's
of
very
Yeah,
much.
course.
don't hold back, Sadaf. Tell us how you
Yeah,
really feel.
Yeah,
yeah.
please.
He was a jerk. I'm sorry. If my husband acted that way, then he would be dead by now. But
What I really want to tell you,
yeah,
Sadaf, is that I'm very happy that you have a nice husband. So please give him my love. You must.
every drama,
But go on. Go on.
drama,
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll be very happy to receive love from Mahira.
This is a
Yeah.
recorded space, so I mean this is gonna
Chalo.
go on the record.
Okay.
Oh,
Like,
Okay.
oh,
Oh,
oh.
God.
I'm glad you
uh,
reminded us. Shit.
anyway, my last point is that, oh gosh, I've forgotten now, but I
He's a
was
jerk.
understand, you do understand that someone who's been harassed so much, in the end they will surrender. You get forced confessions, right? So that's something that we have seen on TV programs about police crime, etc. And she's been harassed so much and guilt tripped and gaslit so much कि वो करेगी. But at the time we're angry and we're reacting episode to episode, right?
Right.
So also, Usman, we want to congratulate you. It takes a lot of guts what you did, because that is not a likable character, and you took that and you worked on it, and you said, okay, I'll take all of it. And I'll
Thanks,
still,
Sadaf. I if only you could tell this to my puppo. My puppo wants to kill me.
yeah, but brava. I mean, I'm
Uh,
giving you a round of applause for being brave enough to take such a character, because social media these days is all about hounding our actors. ये scene क्यों
yes.
था? ये क्यों था?
Yes.
वो क्या हुआ?
Yeah, Ambreen, please go ahead. I think you've been having connectivity issues, and we'll try to wrap this up. Please, Ambreen, go ahead.
जी, अस्सलाम वालेकुम माहिरा, अस्सलाम वालेकुम उस्मान और सदफ, आप सब
Walaikum
खैरियत से
assalam.
होंगे?
जी नीना भी मौजूद हैं.
जी, नीना कैसी हैं आप? खैरियत से हैं? उम्मीद है सब खैरियत से होंगे। सबकी बातें
Fine.
मैं सुन रही थी और मैं अभी की जो रिसेंट एपिसोड्स हैं वो शायद नहीं देख सकी क्योंकि मैं ऐसी जगह पे हूँ जहाँ पे मेरे पास ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। लेकिन ये कि ऑब्वियसली सबने बहुत अच्छा काम किया। अच्छा, मैं सबकी बातें सुन रही थी, बहुत स्टार्ट से तो मैं नहीं सुन सकी क्या कहा जा रहा था, लेकिन हो सकता है मैं जो सवाल कर रही हूँ किसी ने कर भी लिया हो। तो कुछ थोड़े पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंसेस भी हैं इस सवाल के अंदर जो मैं करने लगी हूँ। तो माहिरा और असवद जो हैं वो दोनों जवाब दे सकते हैं। अच्छा, ये बताइएगा कि एक इंसान से आप जब बहुत मोहब्बत कर रहे हैं और वो इंसान अपने सलूक, अपने रवैये की वजह से आपको इस मोड़ पे ले आता है कि आप खुद कहते हैं कि मुझे आपकी ज़िंदगी से जाना है। तो उस टाइम पे अगर वो रियलाइज़ भी करता है कि भई मैंने इसके साथ कुछ गलत किया, तो वो जो माफ़ी है वो कितनी अहमियत रखती है फिर उस वक़्त पे?
Aswan, are you going to go
Uh,
first?
please go first.
Okay. रीन, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि हम कहाँ के सच्चे थे में एक बड़ी एक आइसोलेटेड सिचुएशन है ये अल्लाह ना करे कि किसी और की ज़िंदगी में ऐसी चीज़ें हों। मैंने सुना है होती हैं, मेरे डायरेक्टर हमेशा मुझे कहते थे आपको नहीं पता ये होता है। और बड़ी एक पर्सनल उन्होंने बात बताई थी, लेकिन हम लोगों की ज़िंदगी में अल्लाह ना करे कि ऐसी ट्रेजेडी आए जहाँ आप एक दिन सो के उठें और किसी ने to what seems like to everybody in the house, किसी ने अपने आप को मार डाला है या ये शक है कि किसी ने किसी और को मार डाला है फैमिली में ही। तो ये जो एक सिचुएशन है ये आइसोलेटेड है, इससे ट्रॉमा जुड़ा हुआ है। अगर आप पूछेंगी कि एज महरीन क्या मैं इस वक्त को माफ करूंगी, वो एक और सवाल है। अगर आप मुझसे पूछेंगी कि एज माहिरा अगर एक आदमी मेरे साथ बुरा सलूक करता है और वो करे चला जा रहा है और एक पॉइंट पे मेरा साइकोलॉजिकल ब्रेकडाउन होता है, तो क्या मैं उसको माफ करूंगी, वो एक और सवाल है। सो ये दो फर्क सवाल हैं, क्योंकि मुझे मुझे ऐसा लगता है मैंने बहुत सारी रिलेशनशिप्स देखी हैं जहां पहले से ही बंदा जो है वो मतलब उसका रवैया सही नहीं है। So that's a problem. I would I would try my best to get out of it. And I would say I would get out of it. लेकिन जहां तक मेरीन का सवाल है, मेरीन की बहुत सारी चीजें थी. मैं बहुत सारे लोगों को जानती हूँ जिनके पास फाइनेंशियल स्टेबिलिटी नहीं होती. इनफैक्ट मुझे ऐसा लगता है 80% ऑफ वुमेन स्टे इन बैड मैरिजेस बिकॉज दे आर नॉट फाइनेंशियली इंडिपेंडेंट. इन माय ओपिनियन, मे बी आई एम
ऑफ कोर्स,
रॉन्ग.
नहीं, बिल्कुल सही कह रही हो,
ठीक है,
बिल्कुल
तो
यही होता
तो
है.
तो वो जो मेरीन की अगर आप पोजीशन देखें, वो एक और ही चीज है. उसका ना अपना घर है, ना उसका अपना, उसका कोई, पहली बात तो घर ही नहीं है, उसका अपना कोई नहीं है. सो वो एक अजीब उससे गुजर रही है, जो जिस घर को वो अपना मानती थी और धड़ल्ले से कहती थी इसमें मेरी माँ का भी हिस्सा है, मेरे नाना का घर है, वो भी नहीं रहा. बिकॉज उनको लगता है, उन सबको लगता है कि इसने मारा है. सो शी इज इन अ वेरी वेरी strange position. Her relationship with Aswad dates also back to childhood, जहां उसको लगता था ये एक मेरा दोस्त है और इसकी माँ मेरी माँ है. सो ये जो चीजें, ये आप भूल नहीं सकते, ये आप अपने अंदर से निकाल नहीं सकते बहुत आसानी से. आप उठ के ये नहीं कह सकते कि अब तुम चले जाओ मेरी जिंदगी से और जो हुआ सो हुआ. लेकिन मैं खुद अपनी, आई विश that was the reality of life, but I don't think that is the reality of life. I could let's say maybe take a decision in my life when I was younger, because I knew that I am financially independent, not because of my parents but because of myself. So these are two very different situations, I feel. But if
I
you're
hope
asking,
Brain
yeah.
is listening. I don't know where she went. Okay.
Oh,
Okay, we're gonna wrap this up. I just want to take some closing
Usman
remarks.
can
Yeah, Usman, do you want to?
can
Yeah,
ask
sorry.
this again.
I just want. I'm happy to continue this. I just wanted to wrap it up within the hour because I didn't want to. But of course, we can carry on. Usman, please weigh in. Sorry.
I absolutely agree with Myra. Marine's situation is slightly different from, you know, I think every individual is in a very different situation than the other person, and I feel कि अगर तो कोई ऐसी situation है जहाँ पे एक इंसान उस point पे पहुंच गया है जहाँ पे दे से कि अच्छा अब मैं नहीं रह सकता, और जिस इंसान ने उनको उस point पे पहुंचाया है, then they should kind of let them go. They should let them go. कि अगर वो कह रहे हैं कि मैं नहीं रह सकता, and they are the reason why I've reached that point, then that person should respect the the other person's opinion and just let go. और अगर कभी ऐसी situation आती है कि they are able to forgive the other person, so that's a different story. But
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'll just like to intervene a little bit here, a little bit.
Yeah.
It
Please
just
go ahead. Please go ahead.
it also varies from person to person. Like, I think the people who forgive and they want to, and that's how they heal. So that doesn't make them less of a woman also. So I think it varies from person to person here also. Like, some people are a little more softer that way. Some people are, it's that also. And I think Marine fell into that different category, which she believed in, maybe forgiveness. And of course the love factor was there inside too, but maybe that was the point for her to heal and make us, and then let Aswad heal also. So I think person to person बहुत फर्क बात अलग होती है.
ये बिल्कुल ठीक कह
Wasn't
रही
it
हैं
a
आप.
courageous act? Wasn't it a courageous act on her part to forgive her mamani? That took a lot of bravery because those people had been non-stop
Oh,
horrible.
yes.
So was it okay the mamani, but not Aswad? So this is
Momani
what.
needed a jadoo ki chappi.
No, but the balance.
How good
Do
was
you
the
forgive the
Momani?
mamani?
Oh,
Hi,
Yes,
ZQ couldn't join. I
Brilliant.
she was supposed
he
to,
was
but
brilliant.
yeah, she
She
was
He
was
was.
amazing.
brilliant.
But I mean, there is a balance there, isn't it? Wo Mamani actually probably hurt Mehreen for a longer time, yet
that's so true.
Mehreen was able to. hug. Are we supposed to forgive the Mamani because she's a female and Aswad not because he's a male? I
That's
mean,
a very
there's
good
a lot of
point.
balance
That's a
in that.
very good point.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, that's a good point. It's a
I,
good point.
oh, I'm sorry, I'm cutting Myra. I just want to say, ZQ's acting, even when we were on set, it was so intimidating.
Oh, can we please
And
tell?
Mahira probably remembers there was this scene that we were shooting, and she has to pick up this candle stand and
Oh my
come
God.
towards Marine in the middle.
Oh my god, yeah, I
So
remember that.
ZQ just got carried away, and I was like trying to kind of, I'm like, Mani, stop or something, and she like, tum mujhe kahoge
Colette.
cool it, and she was just, and I would literally get scared when she was charging towards Marine because she just got
Obviously,
into the
like, no,
character.
because she literally, एक तो वो जो कैंडल स्टैंड थे माशाल्लाह से, वो कैंडल स्टैंड बस वो उनको भी हम आई थिंक दफना देना चाहिए. नीना, अगर आपको
I
मिले
think
तो
they were quite good.
हाँ.
Myra, वो
हाँ,
अच्छे
वो
थे,
बहुत
ठीक
अच्छे
है
थे.
ना?
सॉरी
वो
सॉरी,
ठीक ठाक थे.
बहुत अच्छी आर्ट डायरेक्शन. सॉरी सॉरी. लेकिन वो जो कैंडल स्टैंड था ना, वो इतनी दफा हिलाया था कि वो लिटरली आई थॉट इसका कोई पुर्जा उड़ते हुए मेरे ऊपर आएगा. एंड actually in real life, Usman was protecting, actually, like he was just like, she's, oh sorry, did I just abuse? Sorry, I mean, no, I hope kids aren't listening to this, but I never said anything. I said freak. Anyway, so yeah,
Yeah.
Usman was like, oh my god, Mahir, she's actually, something's gonna come flying. And truly she used to get into, especially that scene, she got into it so much that she we were all scared actually.
But
But you know,
yesterday's
there was
last night episode, she absolutely stole the show.
She was just
Brilliant.
She was brilliant. She
Brilliant.
was amazing. She was
amazing.
just
Yeah,
wonderful. I wish she could
very
join.
good.
She was saying that she would try, but I think she's at a shoot right now.
and it
Very
Um
actually started off from this one scene where I think this was the first scene between ZQ and Myra, where ZQ was supposed to grab Mahira, and she was supposed to, because Myra was supposed to run upstairs and she was supposed to grab her. So
hmm.
ZQ's like, no, no, I'm going to be very gentle. It's just, don't worry about it and everything. And Myra thinking,
Yeah.
okay,
Oh my
ZQ's
God.
going to
Yes.
be gentle.
I've
So,
forgotten.
oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
God. And when the scene started, ZQ just pulled Myra, and we have that video. That's the funniest video.
Listen, who has that
That was DQ's
video?
first scene on this
That was
set.
her
That was
first
the
scene, and
first
she,
scene. It was so impressive. We actually gave her a standing ovation. वो
Wow.
पहला था
Yes,
मैं साथ
I
बैठी तो
actually
हम लोग
gave her
क्या
my,
किया है
excuse
क्या
me,
किया है
you gave her a standing ovation. My arm
I
was in
did.
her hands.
yeah.
I don't,
But
my,
that's the thing, you
I
guys
was
were
like,
so
bloody
natural.
hell.
Brilliant, isn't it?
No, what was
It was a
funny?
visual delight for a producer.
Yes, but Nina, you to Allah, Nina, by the way, is one of those
You
producers.
should.
Maro, khun nikalna chahiye, you know, like
Very
cry,
good.
cry for real. And it's like,
But look,
No
but
way.
see,
No
yes,
way. I,
she is
I need
that
to I
oh,
need to
person.
see footage. I
oh
need to
no,
I
see
no,
think
no,
footage.
no, no,
Usman
no,
might have
no,
it.
no, no.
I don't
I
know.
think Shuja has
Usman,
it. I'll ask
I
Shuja to.
promise you one day of biryani if I get to see this. I
Oh
I
yeah,
promise.
yeah, yeah. I'll definitely
Wow,
ask
that's
Shuja to
that's
send that
quite
video.
an
Shuja
incentive,
took that video.
Mavish.
Ha, biryani for all. If I want to see this,
But that
Maro
was, and
Pakdo.
you can see Mahira flying kick ZQ because she didn't realize how hard ZQ would pull her.
No, because Usman, do you remember right before the scene, she's like, okay, listen, we're
Yeah.
actors, right? We're actors, we're gonna do this. Like, I'm gonna be very gentle. And I was like, okay, great. This is gonna be just perfect. And I don't know what happened to her. She like shocked me. I was like, you said you're gonna be gentle. Like, it was crazy.
Oh wow.
And then,
No, we need to see
yeah,
this.
we have it. Okay, we're gonna, Usman, you have to
Yeah,
somehow
yeah,
bring
yeah.
it
I'll
Yeah,
up.
send it.
Usman,
I'll
we have
send
to
it.
see this. Like, this is like, okay, this has to be the most epic epilogue of
Oh,
the
it's
show.
hilarious. It's
Oh my
hilarious.
God. No, but I mean, hats off to you. I keep saying this. I just want to quickly end this because
Yeah.
I've taken so much of your time. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh,
It's such a
most welcome.
pleasure and an honor to have you. I want to say this about the show that people who are sending me laughing emojis, I'm never giving you the mic now. This show has been. I really can't understand why people say, "Oh, why did Myra choose this as a comeback?" and "Why is Usman? He's so woke on Twitter. Why is he doing this?" So I don't get it, dude. Like, have you guys not heard of the word called acting? Like, this is a show. It's a TV show. It's different, and it's actually, like Nina said, talking about childhood abuse and emotional abuse, because we all see in our movies and we see in our dramas ke ek din usko thappad pada, uske baad wo bade hoke criminal ban gaya. Lekin we don't see these nuances of these cousin politics. And I've had my differences about the way that it was translated. I wish they'd let some of the mystery remain about who really did it at the end of it, though there was, but a little bit more would have been probably less. That in beach में it got a little bit frustrating, maybe that wouldn't have happened. But apart from that, I
Yeah.
really have no massive criticism about the woke politics of it all. I think that it's a very, very complex character. Umair Rana's character was
Oh,
incredibly complex. Oh
Oh,
my,
that was brilliant. It was
that was
brilliant.
he
And
did a
I
fan.
wish I could show you and Sadaf the comments in my inbox. The
Hmm.
what kind of stuff people have actually written to me and what
Oh
all
my
oh,
they
god.
I
have
want
gone
to
through
see
in
your
their
comments
lives.
in your
No,
inbox,
but you
And
should
Nina.
can blur
no,
it.
you
You can blur
haven't.
out their names, Nina,
I,
and please share it because
I will,
see, yeah,
because literally people, I mean, and this is amazing because now people are talking about, and it's like, oh my God, we went through this. This is
yeah,
exactly what happened.
Yeah,
yeah.
that is
One
true. That
person
is very
wrote to me, and I
true.
shared it with Myra. She said, I went through the same thing. The only difference was that Mashal was not my cousin. She was my real sister.
Hmm.
Imagine someone writing that in on. Then somebody else wrote this amazing, like, my inbox is flooded with, so people, I'm so glad कि इस चीज से इतने लोगों ने देखा, पूरा मुल्क ही देख रहा था। और
मैं
अगर
वही कह रही हूँ कि
इतनी
आपकी
फैमिलीज में एक फैमिली भी थोड़ी सी थॉट
इंसाइट आ जाए।
वो सही हो जाए ना, तो आई
Hmm.
थिंक द पर्पस इज सर्व्ड।
बिल्कुल।
Yeah,
अब
but also I think criticism is not necessarily always a bad thing. I think the times that you guys were probably getting frustrated, maybe so were we. That's normal, and that's
hmm.
something that is also important because you guys also sometimes are the sounding boards for us. Like it's nice sometimes,
Hmm. Hmm.
We do take it into consideration. Let me just put it out there. A lot of time, I do. I feel like whenever I feel that there's too many, like when someone's saying something and I agree with it, I'm like, okay, I can be objective and look at it that way. And I know the same is for both of these guys. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. But yes, I do think that there are some very important lessons in this serial. Also, I have to go because my child is not ready to sleep and he
Thank
has
you
his
so
first
much.
day of school.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Myra. Thank you so much.
Sadaf, do you wanna please give her
And
another
I'll
message?
and I'll
Yeah,
post a
just
picture of what I'm about to eat to make
Ah,
okay.
Usman jealous.
yes.
I'm going to say something very politically incorrect. I think that
Oh,
is my USP, but you don't have to listen to what woke people are saying on Twitter.
oh.
Okay, that is not the way it works. Okay, what if one person says something, they see half a clip, and me and Mavish are constantly complaining about
Yeah.
it. The
I know.
format of a drama is that the story unrolls over
Unfolds.
time.
बिल्कुल.
Yeah, वो ऐसे जैसे carpet का pattern नहीं होता. You see part
बिल्कुल.
and the next part, and it rolls out, and then you say, okay, this is how. It's not a movie.
Yeah.
Or yeah,
Right. Beautifully said, Sadaf. Thank you. Yes, you both are absolutely right. It is that, and I think we are also very used to knee-jerk reactions.
Yes.
It's not about being woke or not, but just the idea of like just reacting
Hmm.
right away, watching something. Man, go watch the whole thing,
Hmm.
Go watch a full version of whatever, or wait for it, or have patience. You'll get your turn to speak. You can write. It's a free world, social media. You'll be able to do this. But to start this thing where, I mean, ugh, I've dealt with it way too many times. It's just like, now it's just like, okay, do it. So thank you so much for
No, but
saying all
thank
of
you
this.
for a wonderful performance. I think you gave your heart, especially when the last episode and when you have that breakdown where you see Mashal ye mujhe marna chahti hai. That scene is
Oh,
just
thank you.
absolute class. It's I hope I never get to hear. But Myra can't act, and why is Myra? Please shut up.
Oh,
So
I actually don't understand that
but
because
but
honestly speaking,
yeah.
my popo, my mother, everybody, they keep saying Myra and Kubra have done such a great job.
Oh,
splendid,
Honestly speaking,
splendid,
they have.
absolutely.
I mean, I
oh.
don't know. I don't know who says that they can't act because
Exactly.
I mean,
Listen, it's just like
Yeah,
it's
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 just
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 yeah, it's
it's
one of
it's what you get with whatever you've gotten in life, then you get all this also. it's
No,
okay.
but
But
it's just one of those insane things. I remember, Mahira, you and I were talking about Shehrazad, and that
oh,
scene where you speak into the not speak, but you look into the
the
mirror
mirror.
with your
Oh,
yeah, with your
yes. Oh,
water
yeah.
splashing on your eyes. I'm like, I
Yes.
don't get how this gets passed, or how do people not see this?
No,
So
they do. They do. I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for that. So
that's also true.
I'm very grateful. But
Yeah.
can I just tell you as a passing note,
Hmm.
it's never about a actor. It
Hmm.
just cannot be. Or as or just the story or just a producer or director or whatever.
Hmm.
Believe me, I think Hum Kahan Ke Sachay Thay and Osman will vouch for this, I hope. But it really was all of us coming together and wanting to make it good.
Hmm.
Whether it was Dada or Nina or Omera's writing, like literally, we used to constantly be like, should we do this? Should we not do this? As actors, we'd all sit together. I think, worked closely, like just to make each other's work better. And I think that's what you see. Um, Even when people are like, your scene with Usman, there's chemistry. I'm like, where is chemistry? Where's the romance? But I think it's probably the fact that we were so comfortable with each other.
Yeah.
Similarly, me and Kubra
Yeah.
sitting opposite each other, wanting, I'd heard all these stories like, oh, actress is this. No, man, I used to tell Cobra, I was like, this is Marshall scene, this line. I knew all her lines, she knew my lines. We were just there for each other. And so you see it. And so, yeah, I'd just like to thank everybody who's loved it. And yeah, now I'm thinking maybe I should do another drama serial.
Yes,
No.
please. Hello.
No.
Yes,
Yes, and this time, please,
everyone wants
Usman
you to be
cannot be.
something kick-ass.
Usman should not be evil. Usman should play with you, and he should not be evil.
I
Oh.
think I'm gonna take some time off from drama. If
What?
I could show
Why?
you my inbox, the amount of messages I've gotten, like death threats and like,
Oof.
oh
Oh,
god,
Oh
I need to
my.
हमारी
see
माहिरा के
these.
साथ ऐसे क्यों किया तुमने बताओ असफत
yeah, like death threats and like,
Oof.
oh
Oh,
god,
Oh
I need to
my.
हमारी
see
माहिरा के
these.
साथ ऐसे क्यों किया तुमने बताओ असफत
yeah,
no I think you should be saving her from some like hanging cliff and then everyone will be happy
Ooh.
because
You guys have
so,
amazing chemistry,
yeah you
and
do
how you guys manage it, because obviously it's something. I think this is the actor's art, but you guys are amazing.
see and I think part of that anger
I honestly don't know how that happened because if you could see us like 2 seconds before we were actually shooting that specific scene, we were laughing. Like we couldn't stop laughing or we couldn't
Which
stop laughing.
one? I don't even remember.
The hospital scenes.
oh
Oh God. Oh my God.
No, but overall, as a producer, I would say that overall, the camaraderie on set was amazing. Like these guys were just, I mean, and these guys were not friends from before, by the way. They met on my set,
Yeah.
wow
but they had become best of friends by the
Aslan,
time.
shut the TV. Shut the
Yeah.
TV. Right?
we'll let you
Come
go,
on,
Mahira.
Aslan.
Thank you for
Yeah,
if Sman, if
but it
Nina,
was
if
great.
you could stay for a moment,
Yeah.
Mahira. I
Come
think
on.
you have your son
No,
calling, and
Aslan.
thank you so much for joining. You're amazing, and the show was brilliant.
Oh,
And
my
kudos
mic
to
is.
you. And please come back to TV for us and for all your fans who miss you on TV. And I know you've got a great year planned ahead. So
I
best of
do?
luck for that. Yes,
Inshallah.
Qaid-e-Azam
Okay.
Zindabad.
Inshallah. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Inshallah. Inshallah. I
inshallah,
hope it's amazing for everybody.
Myra,
inshallah,
can we
inshallah.
ask what's your next
Yes.
project? You're gonna come back for a drama. Can it be something?
What would you guys like me to do?
Jo bache hai sanskrit.
Superwoman.
Are you sure?
Yes, like you to do Jo bache hai sanskrit.
Okay.
Emily in Paris, Mahira in Karachi, riding on top of a bus.
No, that's why can't I just go to Paris or like
Yeah,
Skardu or some place where I
Mm.
could show?
yeah,
No,
yeah.
but
Well,
maybe
Jo bache hai sang Samet Rome, isn't it? So we'd like to see you there.
I can't say anything about that right now.
Hi,
But
said enough.
yeah. Okay, guys, stop it. This has been
Thank you. We
recorded.
love you.
We
Love
love you.
you guys.
Bye.
Bye. Take
Thank
care,
you.
Usman,
Bye
Nina,
bye. Take
Mahwash,
care.
Sadaf.
Myra,
Bye.
Myra, check my
Bye.
WhatsApp.
Okay, I will.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Okay, bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Khuda
Bye.
Hafiz.
Rafis,
Bye.
thank you. Thank you. So Usman and Nina are still here. I wanted to ask you, Usman, about the death threats. So no, I'm joking. I don't want to ask about the death threats. I
I
definitely
can
want to
I
ask
can I
about.
can send screenshots. They were like,
Okay, please do. No, the death threats. I'm like, I'm sorry. They do get, but I was just saying that it's isn't it an indication of how invested they were and like how much they wanted Asfar to be a nice guy, and
yeah.
you kind of betrayed them.
Yeah, no, no, that's absolutely true. I feel like, audiences get so invested in a drama that they cannot tell the difference between the actor and the character, and I think that's a good thing, and also not very good thing when you're getting death threats. But yeah,
No, but I do want to ask you that it was like sort of said a very difficult character to play, and I think that you've managed to do it so well. You've managed to bring that to the surface so well, and the apology itself that was attached to the character towards the end, you could see his face change from
thank.
angry to kind of I don't know. There's so much complexity happening there. Where did you dig in? Because I asked Mahira this question. I asked where she dug in to find Mehreen. So where did you go to find Aswad?
So I mean, the thing is, there was. I feel like Farooq Bhai was a, he was great help. I mean, I loved working with Farooq Bhai. You like Myra said, we would before doing these scenes, we would sit with Farooq Bhai, we would discuss it with each other. Like there were so many instances where I would, Mahira wouldn't be on set, but I would call her to just discuss the scene with her. Okay, okay, we're about to do this, what do you think? I'd call Kubra and I would discuss, and everybody, Uma Appa, she's the best on-screen mother, by the way. So we would discuss that. And also, like, I feel like somebody really close to me is in a situation like this. And I have seen a few things growing up as well. And uh, it was some of that, some of just kind of sitting with Farooq Bhai, trying to understand the character, and I think that's how it happened.
That's amazing. Nina, what's I'm sorry, Sadaf, would you like to go ahead with something? I'm just gonna keep on going if you don't stop me. Go ahead, please.
नहीं नहीं I'm fine. You're asking the right questions, but चलो अब अपनी टांग अड़ा लेती हूँ because I have Usman Mukhtar on speaker. Usman, why are you not coming back to dramas? I mean, you're such a good actor. I'd like to see you in a role like you were in Anna again,
you know
perhaps.
the thing is, firstly, I don't know. I just I'm very, very, and that's not a very good thing, by the way. My wife keeps telling me that, everybody keeps telling them I'm very picky about scripts. And I, after doing Aswad, I so my what I don't like doing is, generally, like when I did Anna, after that I started getting roles that were very similar to Altamash. And I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to get stereotyped, because a lot of people still think I can't do comedy when I started off with comedy. When I was doing theater, when I was doing, videos, homemade
I
filming.
remember you from Janan, man. That was such a funny role. I
Yeah.
loved
So
that role.
I'd love to do a funny character, because I've done three serious characters. And so I want to do these roles. But be right, while I was doing Hum Kahan Ke Sachay Thay, I got offered two or three different scripts that were completely negative, and these guys were protagonists of the drama. And I was like, why is it that every script has your hero has to be, your protagonist has to be a a gray character or a negative character? So I didn't want to repeat that after Hum Kahan Ke Saath. So I'm actually waiting for a different character.
Chalo, we'll look forward to it, but I think this is an Islamabad thing, isn't it? You guys, when I ask वो उस्मान खालिद भट्ट as well कि आप कब आ रहे हैं, तो वो कहते स्क्रिप्ट नहीं अच्छी, आप भी कहते हैं, फवाद भी कहता है, and then हम fans जो है हम चुप करके बैठे होते हैं, and we have to watch the
No, but
same
you
stuff.
guys should definitely look out for Umru AR. That's going to be such a fun movie. so excited for people to watch it. It's just taking time because the VFX are taking time, but yeah.
Is that going to be a cartoon or is it
No,
animated?
it's a live action film.
Oh, we're super excited because I think this is one of the things we're missing. हम लोग काफी domestic dramas करते हैं, right, Mahwash? लेकिन हम लोग जो out of the box या mysteries या fantasy type stuff is not happening, and I'm very excited for that. So keep us in the loop,
Yeah,
please.
yeah.
So Nina, are you listening? आप
Yes.
producer साहिबाएं हैं, हमें we need more than just ये जो सास बहू की लड़ाइयाँ है ना. We do need more. मुझे पता है आप लोगों का bread and butter है और कुछ ऑडियंस का भी कसूर है, राइट?
नहीं, लेकिन आप अभी जो नेक्स्ट हमारी आ रही है वेब सीरीज विच इज माय नेक्स्ट प्रोजेक्ट, इट्स कॉल्ड 12वां खिलाड़ी. इट्स बेस्ड ऑन क्रिकेट एंड आप एज आई सेड इट एज यू आर मेंशनिंग दैट्स अ कंप्लीटली डिफरेंट जॉनरा. मैंने तो मेरी तो खैर 180 डिग्री टर्न है बिकॉज इससे पहले मैंने सारे ज्यादातर फीमेल सेंट्रिक स्क्रिप्ट्स किए हैं. दैट्स जस्ट बॉयज एक्चुअली. So I'm sure you guys will enjoy that. That's good entertainment.
No, the trailers look amazing. The teasers.
Teaser.
When
Yeah,
is this
yeah, yeah.
coming? Do we
Trailer will
have any? Do
probably
you
be
have any?
on air, inshallah, around PSL, a little before that, and around PSL के आसपास we're going to release it. But you will like it. I hope you love it, but definitely you guys will, inshallah, really like it.
Inshallah, it looks amazing. Everyone looks brilliant in that, and the vibe is just amazing. I definitely wanna go back to Hum Kahan Ke Sacche The, to talking about Aswad and talking about the feedback. And Anina, you as a producer, a lot of times, your hands are tied and your tongue is sealed because you can't speak about a lot of stuff that's happening on the story itself. What happens when you kind of see the people not understand? You guys take a laugh at it? You guys like say that, oh my god, here's another one who doesn't understand the story? How do you get affected? Do you get discouraged? I hope you don't get discouraged.
No. I don't get discouraged, but I sometimes, if I know the person, like this friend of mine, I actually wrote back to. I said, listen, this is actually what we are trying to tell. But of course, then there's so many people, millions of them, that I don't have that personal connection with those people. So, I mean, most of the times, सबसे मजे की बात ये है कि वहीं पे ही लोग मैं ये तो नहीं कहूँगी हमें डिफेंड कर रहे होते, बट वो बात कह रहे होते जो हम what that's what we meant basically. तो वही आपस में ही दो ग्रुप्स बने होते हैं. So a lot of people say things that I would actually tell them. So वो चीज ऑलरेडी दैट्स वो खुद ही हो रही होती है. But yes, it does
That's
get
amazing.
frustration. बहुत frustration तो कभी हो जाती है because I'm like यार ये क्या superficial, तो ये this is not what we meant. So ये at
Mhm.
times, but of course then we don't want to go on groups and write because वो तो फिर एक बिल्कुल ये अलग ही
Obviously, no, you
scenario हो
can't.
जाता है. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, silence जिसे कहते हैं ना ज्यादा साइलेंट ट्रीटमेंट करना पड़ता है, बट यूजुअली क्या
हाँ.
होता है कि आपका जवाब दूसरा कोई दे ही देता है दूसरों को, सो इट काइंड ऑफ वर्क्स आउट दैट वे.
Yeah, the universe has a strange way of balancing itself out. Usman,
Absolutely. In
how's
fact, I would, sorry, I'm cutting you, but yeah, because
no, no, no,
I wish
please
I
do.
don't have your number. Sadaf, I have your number. I'm going to send you right after this. I'm going to send you this comment of this lady, which
Mm,
is, oh my God, I mean, what she wrote, that's exactly what I meant in
wow.
that serial. And I'm going to actually, I'm so tempted to share that with you. And I'm going to, I wish please send
Please
me your
do.
number. I'm going to
I
send
will.
Navish
I
to you
will.
also. So,
I will.
yeah.
No, no, I will. Just wrapping it up. Just last few points that I want to make, and Sadaf, you can make your last point, and I'm just gonna let you guys go. Thank you, first of all, for giving us your time and your precious hours out of your busy evenings. I just want to say that I think that Aswat was such a. I think he deserved more. That is also one of my very few criticisms of the show, that he deserved more screen space. So, Usman, was it frustrating for you to kind of dig into that and then also try and find the meat when there wasn't, or maybe there was, but you didn't get the chance? Because from the novel, it was completely Aswad's story. And when it came to pass, it became, yeah, of course, it had to be a woman's story because our TV is obviously gravitating towards women's stories. But now that, you're seeing a lot of other stories like Parizad was there, Mere Paas Tum Ho, and Khuda Aur Mohabbat, and a lot of these male dominated stories are doing really, really well. Usman, do you feel like there are two parts of my question? That one, how did you manage to get so much out of Aswad when there wasn't enough there? And the second one was that would you consider coming back to doing a TV drama? And maybe Nina, you could maybe also weigh in if you could create something like this for men who who are like this. There are characters which are being like Ehsan Khan is playing a really, really complex and grey character. Not a grey character, it's a downright evil character in Kissa Meherbano Ka. And he's been doing a lot of this stuff, which is really, really great. But do you feel like a lot of these boys we need to show is also a great way to educate the masses? And we do have space for characters like that.
So, this is something that I feel that we are. I mean, firstly, yes. You have to respect the writers and the directors because you completely give into the project. And as a director, I feel like I know when, you shouldn't kind of, you know get into the director's workspace or the writer's workspace, because it gets really, really frustrating for the director or the writer. Okay, let us do our job. And I completely respect directors whenever I'm working with directors. So I completely give in to the project. And also with Farooq Bhai, it was good to work with him because he always listened to the actors. He would sit before scenes and he would discuss it, and we would discuss how we're going to do this scene. Some of the scenes Farooq Bhai was like, okay, I'm going to do this one shot. Very artistically, he would just do this one shot scene. And so initially हम लोगों की discussions होती थी, उसके बाद you just start completely trusting the director, and that's what happened with Farooq Bhai. And we discussed it, and that's how we did that. Aswad was a very interesting character because he wasn't black, he wasn't white, he was gray. There was so many layers to him. And there was so many, like, he's constantly contradicting himself and all of that, so it was a lot of fun playing him.
Yeah, Mahwash, so I would
Usman,
like to answer your, just you said, is that
go
yes, we do have a lot of potential for these kind of subjects that you just mentioned. And as you said, they're already happening and they happened
Yeah.
earlier also, like Pyare Afzal and all that. So now they're
Yeah.
happening too. And of course we do, because I would want people to know how a man gets, I mean, man is also weak at times. A man is also vulnerable at times. A man gets exploited too, ya phir jo bhi karta hai. So I think that is very important that we address those issues as well. And I completely agree with what you have just said that, yeah, those issues and those subjects need to be explored more. And we will be going in that track soon also. You'll see my web series also. There are also some plays coming up. And inshallah, that direction is also being taken now.
Yeah. The web series,
maybe
that
Nina
web
maybe
series is
Nina
very
should do
testosterone.
maybe Nina should do a prequel to Hum Kahan Ke Sache
Oh
Thay.
my God, what a great idea!
Yeah,
Oh my
why
God,
It's
that's
a
a
not?
prequel
fantastic
to,
idea.
Why not?
you know
yeah.
the early years of Aswad Mashal. And
Ah,
Yeah,
like The Hobbit.
Asman, let's have a
yeah,
meeting on this, man.
yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so glad something really amazing came out of
Yeah,
this
but
space.
this time you better give me
Also,
your unlimited dates, Asman. You know how it is.
I will, Nina. I also gave unlimited dates
Yeah,
this
you were
time
very
around. It's just
kind.
that,
You were very kind.
yeah,
That
yeah.
is Islamabad, Karachi, that travel is that kind of
No, but
still
now
very
Usman will
Huh.
travel. Now
But
Usman
I
will.
also I also want to say one thing. This is something that my wife pointed out, and it kind of makes sense. I feel like, see how people were like, oh, Aswad should not be forgiven, and to a certain extent, I agree. I agree. Aswad should have kind of suffered a little, not a little, a lot for what he did. But again, like, मुझे लगता है कि with like, for example, I did Sabath, right? In Sabath, Miral was a very, very toxic character, and Miral also got a happy ending, and people didn't react the way they did with Aswad.
भाई
Hmm.
यहाँ इमोशनल अटैचमेंट्स हो गई थी ना कैरेक्टर से आप लोगों के कैरेक्टर से पीपल बहुत बहुत पर्सनल हुए में इसलिए बिकॉज
I,
मैं
I, I,
आपको
they were
बता रही हूँ ये
emotionally
सारा मसला
attached
ये
with the
था. They were,
characters.
yeah, and they wanted Aswad and what's this the Mehreen's character to be together. They were rooting for it. There was
Yeah,
chemistry there.
yeah,
nee,
absolutely.
I'm going
Yeah.
to nobody. I don't think I personally didn't want Miral's character to have any happy ending. She was a dreadful person,
Sadaf
and
is
she
just like
deserved
unforgiving.
it.
She's like, no, I'm not giving this.
No, no,
Sorry,
no.
no
I
cookie for
am
you.
very forgiving. I'm a, I believe in compassion and mercy. I am. that's not the point. मुझे ये, you got to earn some of it, not by
Yeah, that's
earning
true.
एड़ी
Yeah, that's true.
एड़ियाँ, what do you call it, elbows को रगड़ के. My Urdu always fails me at emotional
Area is
points, but
heels, elbow is
yeah,
knee.
एड़ियाँ
Yes.
रगड़ने से. But my point is that थोड़ी सी redemption दिखाएं, and that ties into the bigger thing. I
Yeah,
think somebody sent me a thing from Sanya saying that we need to give our men a vocabulary. We have not done that. We've given our
absolutely.
women a vocabulary, but we haven't given our men how to express, how to be a better person. Some
But that
do
don't you think,
learn,
Sadaf,
right?
he cries, he begs for forgiveness for
He
the
does.
past
It's like
three. No, I'm
That's
talking about
human.
Aswad. No, but I felt
That's
like for
human.
Aswad, in the past
man,
three episodes,
I
he was on.
take a bottle of his tears. That is not going to fix everything. Okay,
Sadaf is
so
mean.
no, okay, I am here for the politically incorrect answer.
Oh
लेकिन
my god, no.
now redemption जो होती है, there was a time when people used to go, okay, if you were in love with someone or you wanted to make someone up, you came every day. वो दूसरा बंदा आपको इनकार करता था, but you came every day कि I want to earn back this trust. And just like you didn't lose it in a day, you can regain it by working overtime at the other
Okay,
person.
one second. I just want
Forget.
to know. I just want to know.
Hmm.
I just want to know that I'm Aswad. Okay, God forbid. But I have found out that the person I'm being made to marry has literally killed off a woman and has been
Yeah.
manipulating us for the rest. And I've been, and now I have to be with her. How do I? Yeah, I wouldn't be an absolute idiot about it, but I feel like from his point of view, yes, he totally overstepped it. He was Khan ka kacha, like Nina also pointed out and everything. But I also felt like like I mentioned in the beginning, that was his, that fatal flaw in that Shakespearean way where you realize that, oh my god, I've messed up my entire life because of how stupid I've been. And to see Mehreen break down like an absolute mess is what actually made him see. And the way that the ball drops on him is where he realizes. I mean, would you agree?
Mhm. I agree with you there, and I think obviously Mahira and Usman and excuse me, Kubra is being forgotten. She's amazing.
Oh, she is.
They justified the scenes. I'm not saying that जो Usman का character था Aswad. I'm not saying that he shouldn't entirely be forgiven. I think that a lot of our dramas forget that redemption takes a little time. एक episode में क्यों आपने खत्म किया? Take up 2 episodes, take up 3. कुछ दिखाएं कि वो
But
कुछ
this
कर.
one did have. Sorry, मैं और सदफ ये debate करना शुरू हो गए.
Yeah,
Usman and Nina, why don't you guys win? Sorry, Sadaf, you and I will have a separate one about this.
sure.
It's okay. We're actually listening to you guys, and it's always good to listen to other people's point of view also, because that helps us doing. I mean, कि आगे जाके जो projects होते हैं बहुत help करता है कि लोग सोच क्या रहे हैं. So yeah, this was all informative.
Yeah.
No,
So
but
we
go
are.
ahead, Usman. You were saying something, yeah.
Go
No,
ahead.
I see again, I feel, this is something that I, initially, जो जिससे असवद को बहुत ज्यादा हीट मिलना शुरू हुआ था was the fact that ये इतना कान का कच्चा क्यों है. Now, I want to address that because, I have so many cousins, and some of my cousins I haven't talked to in like several years. So if another cousin of mine keeps, or my sister keeps telling me, oh, that cousin of ours has done this, I would not bother. This is actually human nature. I would not bother calling my cousin and be like, oh, did you do this? I just believe it. How many times we are a society जो इंटरनेट पे एक फेक न्यूज पढ़ के अंधाधुन हम लोग यकीन कर लेते हैं, और we don't go back. And I am talking about one cousin of Aswad is telling him that this cousin of yours that you haven't talked to in these many years is doing this. I wouldn't. I mean, because Mashal has never did never. I mean, Aswad had never seen Mashal like that, and Mashal had never done anything like that. So he's like, oh, maybe what Mashal's saying is true. You know, because how many times do you bother checking up with the other person? And also, I feel that because the audience was being shown both sides of the stories, अगर narrative ही इस तरह दिखाया जाता audience को कि you don't know what is actually happening, तो ऑडियंस भी कभी वो ना समझ सकती.
हाँ, सही है, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल ऐसे ही. Yeah, Nina is, I think she's back. Yeah, Nina, you wanted to.
Hello.
Yeah, Nina, go ahead.
Yeah, no. I just came back. I was listening to Usman. So yeah,
Okay,
go ahead,
okay,
please.
okay. No, I'm just, yeah, absolutely. This whole hearsay पे believe करना, ये तो हमारे मतलब इखलाकियात में और मजहब में, कानून में, ये तमाम चीजें हमारी वो lessons हैं जो हमारे ड्रामों से हमें मिलते हैं. I want to thank everyone who's joined us on this space. I think that हम कहाँ के सच्चे थे had a lot of these messages, a lot of these themes about not being easily susceptible to stupidity, to fake news, to hearsay, to superiority or inferiority complexes. जो हम जीक्यू की हम इतनी बात कर रहे थे उनके जो कैरेक्टर की, वो इतना शगुफ्ता कॉम्प्लेक्स कैरेक्टर था, आखिरी वक्त तक उसको रियलिटी में उसने एक्सेप्ट नहीं किया था बहुत देर तक कि मैं हूँ जिम्मेदार, मेरी बेटी के साथ जो इतना जुल्म हुआ है वो इसलिए भी हुआ है क्योंकि मैं खुद भी इसके पीछे कहीं हूँ. एंड दैट गिल्ट यू सी ऑन द फादर्स फेस इज आल्सो so much of the same. So I think that the fact that this is a messed up family with messed up values that finally came on the right track, and there's so many families sadly enough who don't come to the right track because there isn't an Aspad who accidentally reads a diary or any
Yeah.
of those things. So
बट कितनी फैमिलीज में ये हो रहा है, आपको
ये
पता है?
हो रहा है
कितनी
बिल्कुल.
फैमिलीज में हो
और
रहा है.
बिल्कुल मायरा ने ठीक
ब्रश
कहा,
अंडर द रग.
बिल्कुल. और ये बिल्कुल होता है हमारे यहाँ, हमारे ख़ानदानों में बच्चियों को उनकी रंगत पे, उनके ग्रेड्स पे, उनकी बालों की चोटियों के लेंथ के ऊपर भी उनको परखा जाता है. और मुझे
एब्सोल्युटली.
अफ़सोस होता है फेमिनिस्ट को देख के जब वो ये बात करती हैं कि ये टॉक्सिक है, ये टॉक्सिक है. 4 लफ्ज़ सीख लिए हैं, टॉक्सिक, प्रॉब्लमैटिक एंड कैंसल्ड एंड सो डन, कांट इवन. ये 5-6 चीज़ें सीख लिया, अज़ाब कर दिए ज़िंदगी. ड्रामा क्रिटिक नहीं कर सकते भई आप. अरे यार, आप पूरा ड्रामा देखें, आप कैरेक्टर को पढ़ें, आप किरदार को पढ़ें, अदब को पढ़ें. हमारे अगर मैं सोचती हूँ कभी-कभी कि अगर ये लड़कियाँ आज ये उर्दू अदब की किताब उठा के देखेंगी, ये तो फौत हो जाएँगी बिल्कुल. ये तो जला के फेंक देंगी किताबें, क्योंकि
Malvish,
इतना
because
कुछ है.
अनफॉर्चुनेटली आपकी या मेरी या सदफ या जो ब्रॉडर अप्रोच हमारी है और शायद हमारा जो एक्सपोजर है वो शायद उनका नहीं है. वो लोग शायद पता नहीं कौन से लाला लैंड या एट द एक
ला ला लैंड में टम्बलर से सीख रहे हैं फेमिनिज्म.
अनअवेयरनेस के उससे आ रहे हैं. अनअवेयरनेस वुड बी द राइट वर्ड एक्चुअली,
या,
बिकॉज वो
एंड
एक
इट्स
वन
वेरी
ट्रैक माइंड
डेंजरस.
है. एक
इट्स
वन
वेरी
ट्रैक माइंड
डेंजरस.
है. एक वन
बिल्कुल,
ट्रैक माइंड है वो,
बिल्कुल,
यू नो.
बिल्कुल. और ये नीम हकीम खतरा जान है बिल्कुल. और ये
बिल्कुल.
हमारे जो ड्रामे हैं उनके अंदर इनका एक जो हिस्ट्री है, जो बात मैं हमेशा कहती हूँ कि हमारे ड्रामों की एक हिस्ट्री है जो चलती आ रही है, तो आप उसको तो देख लें. बहरहाल ये एक लंबी बहस है, इसके ऊपर फिर बात करेंगे. उस्मान, कोई क्लोजिंग रिमार्क्स आप देना चाहेंगे? नीना, आप कुछ बताना चाहेंगी? और कुछ ऑडियंसेस के लिए अभी भी हमारी ये बात ये सुन रहे हैं, और अब सब मतलब थैंक यू फॉर जॉइनिंग, बट प्लीज गो अहेड इफ यू हैव एनीथिंग फॉर आवर ऑडियंसेस एंड फॉर एवरीवन हु लव्ड यू इन द शो.
I just
Usman,
like
you go ahead first. Yeah,
uh,
sorry, you were going
like
ahead first. Yeah.
sorry, Nina, you want to go first?
No, Usman, आप बोले, मैं फिर end में बोल
I
दूंगी.
just like to say thank you to everybody who watched the show, who showed their love, who got invested in the show. Thank you for giving so much love to us. It was a little emotional for me as well yesterday when it ended because, we've put in so much time, so much effort, and especially thanks to Nina for being such an amazing producer. For
Thank you, Usman. That's so sweet. That's really sweet of you and kind of you.
Yeah, Nina, from you,
Yes,
please.
yes. I would like to say thank you to our viewers and audience and people who are right here. Also, thank you so much for loving it and appreciating our little labor of love. And of course, क्योंकि इसमें एज यू सेड कि बहुत सारी मल्टीपल मैसेजेस थे, एंड आई एम ग्लैड कि बहुत लोगों ने वो ग्रास्प किए हैं और बात हुई है और इस बारे में बात भी हो रही है. आई वुड लाइक टू से थैंक यू टू ऑल ऑफ यू गाइस. Huge shout out to, of course, my crew and my actors, my wonderful actors, and with Usman, Mahira and Kubra. I think it was an absolute pleasure working with them. तो मैं और माहिरा ने काफी पहले तो हमने तो
Hello, Nina. I think we seem to have lost.
Yeah, we've
Yeah, voice.
lost her.
She can come back if she wants to. आप rejoin कर लें हमें,
Yeah,
Nina.
she'll rejoin. Sadaf, why don't you give? Yeah,
Yes.
she's here.
Okay.
She's here.
I just want to say we really enjoyed this. हम लोग complaints करते हैं because, as I said before, we see it episode by episode, and this is the format. हमारा format है. We cannot I don't want actors to be scared
I'm
now of
sorry, I'm just
performing
cutting here.
roles.
I'm sorry, I was about to finish. It got disconnected and
Go
now I'm
ahead.
connected again. But it was such a pleasure working with Usman. It was a pleasure working with Usman and Kubra. And Usman was so dedicated. And that's very true कि Usman बहुत pick and choosy हैं अपने script के मामले में. और उन्होंने मुझसे बहुत सवाल किए थे और ये बहुत ज़्यादा involved थे, which is actually, which was great. Because जब कोई actor इतना involved होता है, वो अपना 100% देता है. And इन्होंने 101% दिया, ज़्यादा दिया. And I think I'm so grateful to work with a team like this. My actors were absolutely wonderful, and my senior actors were great. Be it Huma, Nawab, and Leila, and Ziki was brilliant. And thanks to all of you for this immense support and love. I'm absolutely grateful and humbled.
Thank you, Nina. Thank you for being a great producer. And honestly speaking, I had so much fun on this set that I doubt like any other set would be this fun to work
Uh,
on.
You, Nina, for coming on air with us. It was a bit, last minute and everything, but you were very kind, and now you know how to use a
Yeah,
device, right?
thanks to you guys now. Yeah, thank you for actually introducing us
No,
to
we
this.
need to do one about Barma Khiladi whenever it's ready. We want you
Yeah.
to please join us from Barma Khiladi because this is so
Done.
exciting, and we really look forward to seeing you present us with a lot more great content. More power to you, being a woman and being a producer. That's also, I think, a feat a lot of women don't get. A pat on the back for. So more power to you, and please go ahead and please keep trailblazing.
Thank you so much.
Usman, yeah, Usman, thank you for joining. Sadaf, thank you for organizing this, for having this great idea to do a space on Hum Kahan Ke Sachay The. I thank
Mark,
everyone who has joined us.
for making it so good. And while I was being politically incorrect,
I don't
you
think
were
you were being
right on
politically
script.
incorrect. I think I was the bigger politically incorrect person, and I think that I always sort of err on the opposite side of the
Yeah.
wind. And Sadaf and I will continue to guys talk about and rant about Pakistani dramas, which we always do. So you can always join our Twitter Spaces. And Usman, I definitely want to say that the death threats are a good thing, although I never thought I'd say this, but yeah,
But
I think that
why,
it shows.
man, I get them from Feroz Khan fans,
I,
right?
I
So
get them
you
from
really get them
everyone.
from us.
Oh,
Hello, nobody can beat me. I get them from I get them from like India, Pakistan, USA, anti-vaxxers, everyone. So like Twitter is the perfect place to be afraid for your life.
yeah.
And Nina, I'm just so happy that you made this because it does it like Myra said, it that conversation, and there's so many dramas about two women being pitted against each other. So to add that complexity and to make it um so much more intelligent about it in terms of conflict was brilliant.
Say something, Mavis, just before we
Thank
finish.
you.
Yes.
Like, and since I have everybody's there, can someone explain to me why they don't see the toxicity in people glorifying and romanticizing rapists? Literally, that has been in a couple of dramas in which, Muqaddar Amo was ranting about. So they even nominated Faisal Qureshi for an award for that. And it was literally, लड़की को अगवा करना is considered romantic. लड़की को kidnap karna, force her into marriage, force her to live with you, bully her relatives, and suddenly you are the hero क्योंकि शादी बचानी है. But I don't see anybody on Twitter trending against that. लेकिन
Because it's not cool. The day it will become cool, everybody will trend it. That's the game.
I
So
think those certain people get more गालियां या brickbats या they
I think that's a hazard of being a person who's vocal. Usman is a very vocal person. Mahira is a very vocal person. The more vocal you are about issues in general, the
That's
more,
true.
yeah, the more.
I second Mavish on this. I second Mavish because that's what me and Myra was saying. Because she said because I speak about it, तो मुझे ज़्यादा criticism आ रहा था. A lot of girls don't say a single word.
Yeah.
Lot of people are extremely diplomatic. So that's
Actually,
why
a
I
lot of
think
people
you're
say
right.
कि यार आप क्यों बोल रहे हैं इतना बोलना बंद करिए ना इतना क्या जरूरत है. A lot of people are not even on Twitter. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
true.
Usman is also somebody who's very vocal, so that's why they get more bashed by the same woke brigade, because it's also endearing in a way that they think that they're one of us. So why are they endorsing a position which we don't agree to? What they don't understand is, and what they're very amateurish about is, that a lot of these acting roles that these guys do are just roles. They are not these people in real life,
Exactly.
and
Absolutely.
the roles that they are doing are not supposed to be like every time you see a cigarette, if everything has to come with a label, you can't, they will just be labels, they will not be actual screen left, because everything will come with a label. So anyway, I'm just
Absolutely.
going Sadaf and I will go, हम तो पूरी रात बकवास कर सकते हैं, हमारा कोई मसला नहीं है, बट आप लोगों का टाइम बहुत कीमती है. Thank you once again,
Thank you
Usman.
so much, guys. Thank you so much for having
Thank
me.
you
Usman,
so much for
I
having
have that deg of biryani, okay, so I want that for
Okay,
tomorrow.
I will definitely get Shuja to send me that video.
Yes. And Nina, we need to see you very soon for Barwa Khiladi.
us.
PSL is not
Definitely.
far away, so please take out some time for
Definitely.
us again.
We're going to have a Twitter party because when I get the boys on board over here, then
Oh
you'll
my
see
God,
what
that'll
will
be
happen.
mental. That'll be
Oh, that will be
absolutely mental.
crazy, crazy.
Oh God,
Absolutely.
let's do it. I'm already happy about it. And obviously a prequel for Aswad's story, Road to Mordor.
Yeah, prequel would be a very interesting idea, exploring Aswad, Mashal, and Marine. Uh,
Aswad's Road to Mordor.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Only Usman got my joke.
But
Usman, you're a nerd. I love it.
this time around, we'll show Aswad as a good guy,
As a
not
good guy, he started
not.
out nice.
Yeah,
He started
yeah,
out, it was all good, and
yeah.
until one day.
We'll show him pre-murder, pre all of this family
No, but
politics.
it's true. I think that he does, because he does talk about his mother's tough life in
Yeah,
Kuwait or wherever, and then they come back. So he does have a lot of love for his mother. So I
yeah.
mean, yeah, that's a great story to explore. Why not a telefilm about it, or a small mini series or something? That'd be more
I think
thanks.
it's up to Nina.
Done, done. I
So
like
let's
the
see.
telefilm idea already. Done, Usman. Let's
Yeah,
let's have a meeting on this soon.
Done.
awesome. Thank you so much, guys.
Okay,
Have
Okay.
a
guys.
lovely evening.
Thank
Bye
Thank
you.
you
bye.
everyone for joining. Thank you, Sadaf. Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us. Thank you for having us. It
Thank
was a
you.
pleasure.
Thank you,
Same
Nina.
here.
Thank you, Usman. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank
Thank you, Bob,
you.
most of all.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Have a lovely
Thank
evening,
you.
And thank
everyone.
you, listeners.
Bye,
Thank you,
guys.
listeners.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.